My approach to it very much comes from what I learned from Lucia Foster when she was switching out and I was transitioning in, because she was a great mentor, was that it's less about the final product than it is about the journey with the kids on the way there, which seems like a no-brainer, but unless you're focused on that, it doesn't always happen. And so you have to be paying attention even if the kids aren't learning their lines the right way, or maybe are not moving the right way on stage. We focus on what they need as opposed to what the production needs. And often the two come together anyway, but it's just, I think, a different way of thinking about it. I have often said that I'm jealous that Playmakers did not exist when I was a kid, because I would have benefited greatly from this program. Yeah. Just to have, you think that it might attract a certain kind of kid, maybe a little bit of like a theater kid, maybe a little bit of an outsider, maybe a little bit nerdy, more into literature. We get all kinds. Okay. At the beginning of camp, we're all sitting down. We have about 2 days of fun, get to know each other games, and then we're going to jump right in and we're going to start rehearsal. And we really do rehearse from like 10 a.m. until 2:30 when the kids' parents come pick them up every day. And when the kids can take pride in the fact that they're working on something that's maybe more of an adult kind of production instead of like a school kids production, they really take ownership of it and they help each other through it. So, time, I think, is the biggest difference between what you can get in a theater arts education in school when you're trying to balance all of your other extracurriculars as well as your actual classwork. It's a totally immersive experience. Being here all day, I think, makes a huge difference, because it's your whole world for that month in the summer. And a month doesn't seem like a long time, but it really is. If you're in here every day for 4 or 5 hours a day, you're able to focus on it so much more intensely than if you were only doing it as an extracurricular class once a week. We have some pretty great benefactors that make Playmakers happen every year. And the two biggest are the Hedgelawn Foundation and United Way of Kent County. And that helps it not be a burden on the theater. And it's a no-brainer to have the program every year, because it doesn't lose money for us, so it's not a strain on our regular programming. In fact, it actually serves our mission incredibly well and allows us to get kids from the community in here in the summer that want to keep coming back throughout the rest of the year, and then their families come back in. And so it's, in my opinion, one of the best programs that we have. The multicultural series that Hedgelawn supports every year are 3 performances that we do in the camp. And for the children who are Playmakers, to attend the performances included in their tuition cost. A good example is when we did Peter Pan, we had a Native American dance performance group come in, show the kids how to actually do a traditional Native dance, so we weren't being culturally insensitive. And then we had Mary Martin's daughter come in and talk about her experiences on stage. And then we had, because we were thinking pirates, sword fighting, okay, how do we tie this into what these kids are learning? We had a sword fighting workshop where a professional came in and showed the kids some basic stage combat moves. And it's great for the Playmakers kids, but those performance series shows are also open to the entire community. And because of the Hedgelawn Foundation, we are able to offer those at $5 a ticket, and these are really wonderful performers from all over the world who we're able to bring to this space.
Playmakers was the first grant that Hedgelawn ever made. In 2006, when we decided that we were ready to begin making grants, I heard a little murmur about, first of all, this guy named John Schwattweiser and Lucia Foster, and that they were going to start a program for kids. And it was small, and I thought, and local, and I thought this might be where we could start. The way Playmakers morphed our financial support into this multicultural series is something that's very important to anybody who is ever an educator. To have children experience other cultures and see that not everybody does everything the same way is so important. And to get them at the age of 8, 10, 12 14, to understand that, I think changes their lives.